What's up, folks? My name is David Soto Jr. and I am the author of Los Chocolates de Esperanza Diamante, and it's in English. I don't know why I named it. I titled it in Spanish. I don't know why. But I did. The good news is when I have it transcribed into Spanish, I won't have to change the title. The title's done. Title is done. Speaking of writing or reading, whichever, I'm reading Eva Luna by Isabel Allende, and it is pretty good. Pretty good. Not as good as, so far, not as good as Stories of Eva Luna, the first book of hers that I read. That was fantastic. But anyways, so I'm reading Eva Luna, and this is why I have to keep reading magical realism as long as I take in as much as I can, because reading Isabel Allende, I've had to stop so that I can write, because I feel so inspired. It's not like I'm just copying down or like, I'll do a version of this. It just inspires me to create. It's fantastic, actually. So, yesterday, I couldn't help. I had to stop reading, put the book down, and write. I wrote about 300 words. And the title of it was How to Make Cinnamon Rolls. How to make cinnamon rolls. And so I wrote down, first, make love. You have to make love. And I was like, and so I continued to write, like, well, what does that have to do with making cinnamon rolls? And I explained it. I've never written anything like this in first person. I wrote it in first person, and I ended up having, I'll have to, if you're on my email list, I'm going to email it out to everybody, what I wrote, because I really like it. Like, it's just really fun, really 300 words. It caused me to write a little bit more, but I wrote this thing about how to make cinnamon rolls. And basically, if you have too much built up passion, like if you haven't made love in a long time, it throws off your taste buds and you can't taste the cinnamon. So you don't know how much to put in your cinnamon sugar mixture. In fact, you can't taste it. So you put too much, and it becomes not like a cinnamon roll, but the flavor is more like, I didn't write this because I didn't know how to say it, but I mean, I feel like I have to write things that take place in the previous century for some reason. So I don't like to give things away that are like of present day. But anyways, it's like hot damn, or like those fire atomic balls that are just so spicy cinnamon. That's what happens. Like, you cannot taste that because of the passion that's pent up. It's not released, and so once it's released, then you can have, then your taste buds are like not affected, and you can taste the cinnamon, and therefore you won't put too much in your mixture. I don't know, but it was just this awesome experience to get inspired to write a little magical realism, write it in first person, and then write it about this. You know, I don't know how to, I don't know how to make cinnamon rolls, really. I don't know. I'll have to, if I'm going to expand on this, I'll have to look it up and see, and then and I write about my aunt, which I don't. It is completely made up. I've never written it. Like I said, I've never written anything like this in first person. I've never written fiction in first person, and it was kind of fun. I think I'll email that out to some people today, so get somebody's opinion. But that's what reading a good novel, basically a good magical realism novel, does to me. It just inspires me to create my own stuff. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of bright. Need the white balance. Anyways, I had these white shirts in the back, which I was saving for like when I had to wear a shirt on top, right? So I saved two kind of work shirts that I like to wear. It's as close to getting dressed up as I get. I put on a Dickies work shirt, white t-shirt underneath, and I wear a hat and Chucks, which I haven't worn in a long time. So in order to wear it, I have a black Dickies work shirt and a gray Dickies work shirt. In order to wear those, I need a white t-shirt. So I've been carrying around these white t-shirts for over a year. I haven't worn them. I'm sorry to wear them because I'm tired of wearing my stupid Train Naked t-shirts. You don't train naked, do you? So yesterday was laundry day. I had to wash whites. I never have to wash whites. So I had to wash whites. And I washed them and dried them, and they came out with black marks on them. I don't know how when you wash a shirt, they come out dirtier than when you put them in. But this is why I wear black. Shit like that doesn't happen. Although I think the white is kind of flattering. White t-shirt. I actually started tucking in my shirt because of the weather, right? So I took it. That's why I have to have extra or tall shirts, because I want to tuck them in when it's cold, because when the wind blows up your back, it's the worst feeling in the world. So I've been tucking them in, and then I'll put a sweater on over top or a jacket or whatever. But I leave them tucked in. I've been leaving them tucked in, and I'm like, it kind of makes my waist look kind of slim when my shirt's tucked in. And yesterday at the park, not yesterday, 2 days ago, I was at the park playing frisbee with Rusty, and I was getting some push-ups in and some pull-ups in, around hanging on the monkey bars. And a car goes by and honks at me. All right, there's two women in a car. They did a double take. I know, because I was looking. I was like, who's this? They did a double take and then honked their horn at me while I was out there at the park doing pull-ups. I don't know why women hate that, because I loved it. I loved it. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting handsome again. I used to be handsome. I used to be attractive. Maybe I'm getting attractive again. But it really did. It made me smile. yesterday, the van started overheating. And I was like, oh my God, now what? Last year I replaced the water pump, and that was not fun. It was a terrible, terrible day. It took me many, many hours. There were just things that didn't go right, and so it was horrible. And I ended up writing 3,200 words on it, describing the day, describing everything I went through. So sometimes I'm pretty handy. I can fix things, but I'm never like really one to not be without fear. Like, I'm afraid that I'll fuck something up because I don't know how to do it right. I have the ability. I can figure things out. I've never not fixed anything, but if it's my first time messing with something, I'm a little intimidated by it. So yeah, I figured I could do the water pump. Some things went wrong. I got it, but it still scares the crap out of me to think that something like that will happen again. So when my van started overheating yesterday, I'm like, oh my God, now what is it? What is it gonna be? What is it? Is it the thermostat? I have to change the thermostat. Is that sticking? Oh my God, what? Maybe is the belt loose? Belt broke? Is the fan clutch? Oh yeah. What am I gonna? So I made a pit stop at Trader Joe's to get some food. Saw that my overfill reservoir was empty, so I'm like, maybe I just need some. Maybe I'll put some coolant in. We'll see how that works. Stopped at AutoZone. Got some windshield wipers while I was at it. Got some coolant. Put some coolant in the reservoir. Came back to base. That's when I did laundry, and I let the engine cool. And when I let it cool, when I got back, I put coolant in it, and it took the whole damn gallon. I emptied the brand new gallon container into my radiator. That's why I was overheating, because I didn't have no coolant in it. I take the van to like Jiffy Lube and places like that so they can check that shit, right? But apparently they don't. So anyways, that's I didn't post anything yesterday because I was kind of like, I made a video, but it was just like me rambling, not making any sense and anything. Anyways, that's it. That's my adventures over the past 2 days. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday I'll be at Bookman's. I'll be at Bookman's in Tucson, East Side, corner of Wilmont Speedway, from 12 to 2 on Saturday. I try to get hooked up in at the one on Ina in North Tucson, but those motherfuckers never text me or email me back, so fuck them. I'm just kidding.